Hello and welcome back to TBI League. We are in week 6. I will be solo casting tonight. Hello, Mary Berry, your solo caster for the night. I will also be doing all of the production, so hopefully it all works out. Today our game is Hiroshima Suns versus City Boys. As you can see, our map bans are all completed. First game of the night is going to be Chalet with Hiroshima Suns attacking first, and it'll be followed up with Nighthaven Labs with City Boys on the attack first. Two honestly quite fun maps. Chalet, we've seen quite often in the league so far, played by a lot of our teams. It is a pretty standard map to pick. It's quite comfortable for everyone. And hopefully we'll see a bit of action, since it does tend to be a map where you can see a lot of gunfights. Sometimes even early on. There's a lot of different pushes you can take, though usually it's between 1 to 2 different ways to attack each site. And right now we are just waiting on our teams to ready up, and we'll be able to get into the action. Just gotta wait a little bit more. Honestly, Chalet is also quite interesting in that we've seen a lot of teams pick different first site starts. I am very much of the opinion that I like bar games, but we've even seen teams starting top floor. I believe that's either the second most common pick or the most common pick. Bar games does tend to be more common, in my opinion, and then we'll have basement as our final option. Or as our tertiary, usually. We don't see kitchen too often, as we can swap over to the game now. Beginning with our ban phase, we've seen a lot of shield bans coming out usually, but having 3 shield options, you can't ban every single one of them if you hate them. On the defense, sometimes you'll see an Azami ban. Miro's a very common ban. There's very few times when Miro's been allowed through, and she will not be allowed through this time. Ace, again, great attacking ban. You're going to be removing some of those hard breach options from your game. Believe, just double checking that my game is being picked up properly. I think we are good. All right. But our secondary bans, Kaid and Flores. Honestly, liking the Flores ban, it's going to mean getting rid of the blue shield on top of the library stairs. It's going to be quite the pain. So that inclines me to think that the Hiroshima Suns are, or sorry, that the City Boys are going to be playing bar games, at least soon. It is not their first pick. As we go to top floor instead, it's going to be the office and master bedroom site. Don't see anything crazy coming out from this team at the moment. Two Barao to stall the wall opening. Potentially even some bandit tricking, considering we've got the reinforcement here on the left side, which means bandit can just hide in the corner, try to keep the main wall closed. Though there are going to be some interesting angles. I think Piano might be able to see, Piano Window might be able to see a teeny bit all the way through into the little box area where default plant is. But we've got a very fast attack coming in. It looks like it's going to be a library side take, as we are moving straight into the action. Shooting open some windows. We have Captain Yuri making sure to drone out top mez. No one's actually defending here. Most of the team... Oh, meanwhile, Trax taking out Zonus immediately. That is Nomad gone. think she may have pushed in a little bit too fast. I'm not quite sure exactly where that fight took in, but, you know, first point of contact right here. Well, most of the team is going to take a peek, actually, here. Dom is looking to take this fight while Trax is locking down the site. Trax... Oh, another beautiful shot against Dom. That is a 3v5 now with Hiroshima's Sun's attacks just slowly falling apart. Captain Yuri taking a lot of damage to a Thorn gadget. Can't get the wall open. Meanwhile, Turn getting a pick onto a flanker. That is tanks taken out. Finally get the wall open. Trax has moved over with Quillian hanging out right by Piano. As Nova's covering the flank, Captain Yuri has to find some way to potentially try to plant. It's going to be quite rough, though. This Turn makes their way forward. It looks like attack is going to be walking up through this library hallway. Trax looking to see if anyone is playing on the window as Captain Yuri starts taking fights on the main breach. Getting these long angles. And, ooh, not ready for Trax again. Trax with a 3k in the round. It's off to Turn and Nova to try to do something, to try to fight Trax, who's looking for his ace. Finally shut down by Turninator. And unfortunately can't make anything else work. As we see Quillian with the beautiful angle, top of the Piano with a shield, watching the walk-in. Quite a good round for City Boys. Trax on fire with that 4k. Almost had that ace. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get it, but Equal in there to clean up the round for City Boys. Now, where do we move? But to our basement site. Again, looking to be a pretty standard setup. Chipper, the only wall denial on the team. We don't even have a Tubarao to stall any of them out. So I'm curious to see if we're not going to have any bandit tricking, or if Chipper's just going to commit fully to keeping the main wall closed. Because with only 4 charges, we are going to have a little bit of difficulty with certain site directions depending on where attack wants to push. Those look like it potentially is a main wall take, though we do have players pushing from every direction. Dom immediately trying to go for the wall, following with Captain Yuri. Trying to deny this bandit trick. It will get denied. Oh, or not, as Chipper gets the wall. He's just absolutely on fire, locking in this bandit trick. Next breach is coming in, gets electrified. This just play between the bandit tricker and Captain Yuri. This is not working out. They know exactly where they are. The drones are getting shot as well. We do have cover from any jump outs, as we see Zonas covering the window and Dom actually on top floor. But I don't think we have any nades left to try to clear this. Chipper just wants to burn all of Captain Yuri's hard breachers. But I feel like it's just fully shut down. His Turn is bringing out his gadget, going to try to knock something out. Have the stuns coming in, the wall's going down, and yep, Chipper's gotta run for it. Captain Yuri finally gets this wall open as Dom's made their way down a library right now. Trax looking for a fight here. Right on the window. Turn, meanwhile, taking a lot of damage with Trax on the cleanup. Gonna be moving upstairs, waiting for any new players to try to be pushing their way in. While Dom's actually pushed all the way down blue, taking a fight with Tyler, who gets down but does get the kill against Dom. So again, not a good start for the attackers. Meanwhile, Zone is trying to even it up though. We have a 3v3. I believe Tyler's still gonna be safe to pick up. So we can't quite count him out. Really depends on where the attackers are. Trax is not in a good position to try to recover this. Meanwhile, Nova coming in from the back. That means Tyler's gone. Trax in a 1v3. Yeah, I don't think he's committing to the rescue at all with so many players here still alive. Trax going to try to run out. Try to lock this in. Nova taking a little bit of damage. Plants coming down. Trax knows he's going to have to do something. He's... Oh, no, almost, but not quite ready for the player waiting for him on the bottom of the stairs. And we are 1-1. The attack looked like they weren't quite ready, or right at the start, you know, started falling apart, but then Zona's coming in with the clutch, getting 2 kills. We did get that helpful down on blue as well from Dom. You know, Tyler not getting picked up, not the best for the team there, but we are going to be playing. I went a little bit too low. We're finally in bar games. This is looking like City Boys' tertiary pick. Considering the Flores ban, I am surprised that this wasn't their first pick, or at least their secondary. But we do get to see a pretty standard setup. I'm assuming the Frost Shield is the one that is placed right here on blue. It's going to be quite a pain to take out with the Jaeger gadgets here protecting them. And otherwise, a pretty standard extension. We got castle barricades up to stall all of the pushes. And no one really roaming on the solar office side. So if anyone checks, Nova coming in with the snake, he might be able to get a lot of free space very early on. Meanwhile, Turn and Captain Yuri making their way upwards. And Nova already deep in. Will get spotted out by the solar cam, but he'll know immediately, hey, there's no roamers up here. We don't have to worry. Trax, though, waiting on the window here. Oh, he spots Terminator and absolutely takes him out. He backs down the stairs. Is a little bit worried. Chipper, meanwhile, playing aggressively here on the blue stairs. Let me see if he can find anyone's toes who might be trying to punch this castle barricade off. He's not going to find them, however. Captain Yuri tries to cover the canine window. Tanks playing aggressively on box, while Captain Yuri is looking for him. But Trax is also on the cover. Walls are getting blown open. Slowly but surely, defense is having less space to play around with. Zonus is covering this top floor area, and ooh, that's a little bit spooky. He almost walked into Chipper, just swinging right onto him. Trax patiently waiting while Tanks is trying to take some gunfights here against Nova, who does get down. I think he'll be able to be rezzed. Zonus gonna have to be very careful giving that up, though. Meanwhile, as Dom gets taken, Dom takes out Tanks, but Trax gets the trade immediately. Trax backing out as Captain Yuri tries to clean him up. We are still at a man disadvantage here on this attack with everyone stuck on the library entry. Chipper, meanwhile, just locking the position down. He really has nothing to worry about. It's just the window and the double door, and it's all lined up as the ADSs are getting burned. We've got some smokes being tossed out. Chipper, meanwhile, though, does get knocked out by Zonus, who does go a little bit around and does find him at the end. Nova trying to walk down this 90, but Tyler with the prone position finds him. Zonus gets the trade. We are down to a 2-2. As Zonus has to walk forward, gets downed by the Thorn gadget, cleaned up by Zequelin. It's all up to Captain Yuri now, has to make something happen here. He is looking for Zequelin. You know where he is, gets the pick, and Trax now has to react, figure out where this plant is going down as the timer just ticks all the way to the bottom, and tries to meme it out, does get the hip fire kill. Took probably a little bit longer than he was fully comfortable with, but he does close it out. Trax taking the point for the defense. As we are trading rounds at the moment. And we get into our next ban phase. Wonder what people are going to be finding annoying here. Not be surprised by just another bandit ban. Don't have to worry about any of the walls then. But we are going to be getting Azami and Capitao out. Again, both good picks. Typically, so long as you're banning any of these powerful operators, you're not going to be making any incorrect choices with your bans. It really depends on what you're willing to run up against and what you're ready to fight. So, we will move right back over to master bedroom. Top floor, the city boys felt very comfortable on this site. Of course, we had Trax absolutely going nuclear with a 4K on round 1. So the setup is looking to be basically the same, just without that Azami being able to set up very annoying angles. Still have plenty of useful operators. The Denari brought out to bring some tripwires out as well. I wonder where they are getting set up.
5 seconds left before insertion.
As Denari's actually on the bottom floor. Do we have a meme set up? No, we've got some damage right here being done. Meanwhile, we have a shield up Zonus with the Monty. Looking to potentially push into solar. Is this going to be a perfect read from Chipper on that Denari? Or are they going to be spotting that out? Yeah. Ooh, does he miss that? Uh-oh. Is he going to just take some damage there? Might be quite nice for the city boys if Zonus immediately just runs into some of these traps. Lots of droning, though, coming out as... Also, Dom gets onto the double window. No capital, or sorry, no castle to just stall that out at all. They're just gonna give that one up. And have to be careful about these angles. Tyler is spotted by this drone, is ready to take some of these fights. Meanwhile, Zonus taking damage to the barbed wire. Just touch, and Tanks goes down to Dom, who's having a good time here on this double window. He's ready for some more fights. Trax trying to get a C4 out, is not gonna find it. Ethnier, meanwhile, also on the solar window cover. Sending out some more Grim Bees. Tyler is spotted out. Chipper and Tyler kind of doubling up, trying to get all of these players on solar. Nova trying to take this fight. Both of these players, they do spot Tyler, get the down. Chipper, though, is going to be able to rescue him. So both players will be able to be up as Zonus is going for a aggressive plant. There's only 3 players left here. Trax taking a lot of damage. Zequelin trying to spray through this window. Chipper may not be spotted out, but there's 5 players left on the defense. He is on a sliver of health. Turn, finding Trax. Nova taking out Chipper. Follow up to Zequelin, who is pretty cut off here in office. Drones coming out. They're definitely going to be spotting him. Zonus sees him. Dom is waiting for that cross as he's getting spotted out and does find that kill straight through the wall. And what do we have it? But we're back to 2-2, everyone. A very, very even map so far. This was the pick from Hiroshima Suns. So they seem relatively comfortable on this attack. I believe Chalet can be a pretty 50-50 site. It does tend to bounce between being defender-sided and attacker-sided, though attacker-sided is, I think, the slightly more popular or more positive position here. It really depends. I am not the most up-to-date on the meta. But what do we have here? I love the boiler extension. I hope someone locks this in. We do have Trax on the Warden, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's who's going to be playing here. We have Tyler as well, though, with the Wamai. So it would probably be Wamai helping out with the setup, with setting up some of those defensive gadgets. Or either also holding that position. As we make sure to close up all of the hatches as well. Kitchen hatch going to be played closed. Sometimes you will see teams who play a little bit more extended actually opting to have this open, as losing boiler can mean you don't really have any easy way to try to stop the plant by the barrels. But it does look like Hiroshima Suns are going to be going for the main wall once again. Zonus going for the Blackbeard, and Captain Yuri wanting to get this wall opened right up. He should be able to get it for free, since Chipper is nowhere near the wall. Absolutely free. Zonus taking a peek here on what is going on. Chipper waiting to shoot a whole pile of drones. I believe that was a Brava drone. No, not quite a Brava drone, but that was a Brava drone, yes. I was correct. I wasn't quite sure if Bravo was on the team, but you know what? I spotted it. You know what? Tanks is actually going for some sort of flank position, potentially. Zonus is looking to take this main door. And he will get spotted. It has to back off, but he's in a tight position. He is looking to get this pick. Backs off. As the push is coming in from attack. Tanks does manage to escape. It stalls a little bit of time. So now the teams do need to be a little bit scared of the roam. I believe they caught him leaving. Time to open up a whole bunch of the holes onto this vertical. As Zonus takes a peek at who might be playing where. Chipper ready on the stairs, but he has to be very careful of this hatch. Does spot out the Blackbeard, does have to give up his position. Tyler having to watch blue. Presses up forward. Are we going to be seeing some aggression? As we are getting a couple people spotted by the bees. Dom, meanwhile, knocked out by tanks on the flank. Very nice. Tyler taken out in the meanwhile. Thanks to Nova. But plant is going down. Do we have any way to stop it? I don't really know. It goes down. Tanks getting flashed does not get the pick he wants. Meanwhile, Chipper going down. Tracks going down. Zonus and Nova absolutely on fire. Zequelin and Tanks gonna have to try to figure something out here in this 2v4. They keep spotting out that Blackbeard who's doing work, not really finding any holes in the attack. Smoke going down as the push comes in. We get one down, but Zequelin immediately shot. Tanks going up to see if he can find some of these players and spots out turn. He's very careful about finding this, but there's just no time left. And Nova walking up casually with the shotgun knows they've won it. And what is this? Hiroshima Suns take the lead with 2 attack wins in a row. Decided to stop reading that script and trading points between each other. As we rotate all the way back. Final round to be played on Bar Games. Let's go take a look at the setup. As we immediately have players running to the top floor. Castle getting set up. I suspect that not too much will be changing with the setup. It did work quite well last time. Top blue was locked down for a very long time by Tyler. As, I think, did everyone leave site? We do have a little bit more setup that we'd probably want to do here. I'm sure they will get to it, though, once the timer starts getting lower. No garage closure, though. So, if anyone on Hiroshima Suns do want to do a fast push from the garage that is open. And we're still not set up on anything on top floor. It looks like Jaeger and Tyler there on the Warden are quickly trying to finish this up, but Nova sees the late setup. Chipper actually taking a lot of damage trying to close that castle barricade. He gets away with his life, but I'm sure that was scary for him. As the castle barricade immediately goes down, Zonus looking to try to go for a rush plant. We have a bunch of players coming out. Dom, meanwhile, holding down Tyler. Doesn't care about the smoke either. As we've got plant down. We see a whole bunch of players. Tanks goes down. Turn has the cover. Chipper trying to stop something. Captain Yuri is down, but do they really know what's going on? Zequelin trying to figure something out. Trax, is he not ready for the player holding the angle? Dom's covering. Trax, meanwhile, does get a pick on to turn, though. We're getting some pressure here against this Monty. It's actually only Zonus and Dom. Zequelin getting the pick here as Plant goes down. Zequelin having to knock this down, and suddenly defense make this work. There was just... It was a very messy round. I'm sorry, though. That action was very fast, but we are 3-3. Defense closing it out despite the Plant going down. Just no one on Hiroshima-san's quite where they wanted to be positioning-wise. And we get our role swap. Mira out again, Ace out again. So far, a mirror ban. Are we going to see any changes, or are we just going to see Kaid down again? And a couple of our other favorite operators. It looks like we're going to see a little bit of a change. Thermite is going to be banned on attack instead of the Floras. This does also, again, leave the bandit up for wall denial. Are we going to be seeing our defenders play it? Yep, Zonus swapping right onto the bandit. And we are going top floor again. The bedroom site, master bedroom, office site. I wonder if we're going to see a different wall setup, because, yep, it does look to be the slightly more standard setup where you close up this right wall. That does mean that don't believe Zonus is going to be sticking around to trick this wall, considering his entire field of vision is going to be exposed.
10 seconds to go.
But otherwise, we are seeing pretty much the same setup as we got from the City Boys defense. It does look like both of these teams prefer top floor over Games Bar. As the attack is coming from library side, again, it looks like it. Most people spawning by the helipad. And Tyler getting right onto this rappel. Sometimes you'll see them holding the angle straight through bathroom. Doesn't look like Tyler wants to take that fight, however. Chipper on the shield. As Zequelin is looking for some sort of angle, seeing if anyone's playing box, anyone playing library. Chipper and Tanks trying to clear first floor, make sure there are no roamers hanging about. They're going to be spotting that Deimos out, but Tyler as that cover, knocking out Zonus immediately. They droned him out. Tyler taking a bit of damage on the aggressive hop out from Dom. Captain Yuri actually very close here on a flank position. Defense is looking not quite as comfortable as they probably want them to be, but Chipper happily holding down this shield. Wanting to throw some nades to knock out the bandit batteries. Captain Yuri looking to find some sort of angle. He will give his position away a touch with that gunshot, but I'm not sure if the players really know. Nova taking a bunch of pre-fire damage. Captain Yuri calmly waiting in the kitchen, potentially just playing for plant denial, but it is a minute 30 left. The wall is going to be opened in a second as Chipper takes a little bit of damage to that thorn gadget. And Nova's gonna have to contend with the wall being opened. Trax, oh, spotting the top of his head, and oh, it's a miss for the C4 too. Unfortunate. That part of the head does not count as Deimos gets knocked down to Captain Yuri, who was hunted. He didn't care. He just sprayed straight through the wall. Now they know there is a flank. We have lost Nova defending the half-wall position. It is up to turn. Try to prevent this entry now. Zeppelin taken out by Dom in the meanwhile, but Tyler trading them out. It's all up to Captain Yuri, who gets another shot through the wall. As Turn is all alone, gets just shot from the two angles as Captain Yuri has to try to recover this 1v2. Plant going down. So you're going to know where the players are. The shield's going to be used against him. Tyler stands up for that final pick. No care in the world. So we get to the next round. City Boys taking the lead back this time. As we decide to defend Master Office once more.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
And let's drop down, take a look at the setup. Thorn, very useful for the side of Hiroshima Suns. Wasn't quite enough to stop the City Boys' attack, however. Did have a really nice, annoying flanking position, though, coming out from Captain Yuri. Question is, are the City Boys going to hunt him down this time? Just even more aggressively, because he did get away with two really nice picks. Otherwise, this setup looking like your usual defensive position. I am not seeing any players with a shield, unless, oh, there we go. Thorn is setting it up now. As we're swapping over to the Monty. Chipper choosing to run the Monty.
Reload.
So we're getting a couple windows shot open. Trax tossing a nade nice and early. I think that was a whiff. I think he wanted to make sure to cover any sort of Thorn gadgets thrown outside. As Tanks is looking to drone his way in from garage. Chipper just wanting to pressure. He doesn't have to worry. That C4 is going nowhere as Nova is just trying to point out where this Monty is. Chipper making a lot of noise, being quite annoying. Trax spotting the Valcam. At least we're getting a little bit of this intel denied. The team is backing out, taking their time. Tanks on the roam. He's being very careful here with the push. All the players just seeing if they can find any sort of advantage. It is a bit of a standoff as everyone's holding their positions, holding their angles. This is a pixel that Zonus is trying to hold to try to find Tyler. Does have to be wary of the bathroom jump out, though Dom is more interested in the solar stairs at the moment. Oh, and we get a bit of a fight here against Zonus. Do see the bandits batteries pop. The wall is trying to be open, and they will get it before the electrification kicks in. Chipper making his way into office, deciding to back out of that. Tyler trying to lock in the long angle. Is he going to be able to find Zonus on the bandit? He is in a bit of a rough spot. Dom, meanwhile, finding Tanks. He's trying to sneak his way up. Nades coming in. Zonus is, ooh, just barely not taking that damage. Defense really locking in this time around. He knows where the bandit is trying to rat. A nade coming in. I think this will be over for him. Yep, gets finally chased out. Zeppelin with the pick. Now we know where Nova is as well. Turn, meanwhile, taking down Tyler. Tyler is down. Nova on a fight. Never mind. Turn continuing to fight the library side as we drop attackers one by one, and there is nowhere for Chipper or Zeppelin to move. They have to make some sort of play. The Thorn Gadget's going off. Captain Yuri getting that pick onto Chipper, and then the timer. That's 6th player from defense. Giving the Hiroshima Suns just that little bit more edge that they need to win it out. Back to even 4-4. This is looking like it's gonna be going straight into an overtime match. These teams both so evenly matched on Chalet. We're gonna have to be playing one more round before we get the next set of bands coming out. As we check out our next pick. Hey, look at that. Bar games. Again, I love playing this site. This is my first pick all the time. So always nice to see it coming out. We usually do eventually see it because kitchen dining tends to be the least popular. In my opinion, I actually like kitchen dining quite a lot. I feel like all 4 of the sites on Chalet are quite defensible, are quite viable. It's just kitchen dining tends to be the least preferred, even though you do pretty much just hold it as if you were holding top floor. It's the way you'd play the library site on Cafe. But we have our attack on Chalet going down. The setup is complete. Tyler going straight for the K9 window.
Reload.
And Nova holding the very nice long angles here. Playing in the dark spot. We'll be seeing a couple castle barricades potentially being pressed open, but Trax is looking for an entry, maybe through garage. I'm gonna drone his way out. He knows the hatch is closed. So getting quite an interesting push actually through the solar side and trophy. Tyler, the only one really in range to see some of these fights. So Captain Yuri is looking for the player that's on the roof. Zeppelin looking to take this fight. Nades coming in. He might be able to knock out this shield. Captain Yuri continues to take this fight. But the players are rotating around now. We're gonna get pressure straight into office. But again, minute 20 left. It does feel like attack is taking this a little bit slow. This is Chalet. So this could still go in favor of attack. It does tend to be a very tight site. So once attack really gets rolling, if defense is not ready to actually defend their positions, they will have quite a tough time. And the head of turn is spotted out by Trax. Nova, meanwhile, taking out Chipper. Captain Yuri does get spotted out by the bees, while Tyler goes down to Nova. Locking down this dark spot, Captain Yuri, cleaned up by Tanks, who's waiting below. Those bees really giving his position, and he's going to knock out that camera as Trax makes his way into library. Nova's still locked in dark spot. Jonas knows there is the player below and does get the shots down into Tanks, knocking him out. Do you know one player is right by the hatch? Dom is waiting by the bomb to take him out. Meanwhile, Nova takes out Trax again. Gonna be looking for Zeppelin, and it doesn't really matter since Dom had the hatch angle. Cleans up the round for defense. This time, it is Hiroshima Suns' turn to push ahead. But still, so far, we have been yet to see more than a single round difference from either of these teams. As we get into our next set of bands, we're going to be seeing Maverick and Castle gone. Honestly, Castle, a very powerful operator to just stall out and slow down the attack, make it a little bit safer for defense to play wherever they might be exposed to some windows or doors they're uncomfortable with. But we're not going to be seeing him anymore. Mav also removed, which in my opinion is a little bit interesting since I don't believe that City Boys played Mav once on their attack. There is definitely some strategies where you can sneak in Mav from garage and get some cheeky angles into this little pantry room, but we're not going to be seeing that anymore. As we are going all the way down to basement. We do have Zonus on the bandit. The real question is, are we going to be getting any bandit tricking? As he is going to be the one sent out to close out the hatches.
5 seconds to go.
Hunting for any last minute drones.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
As he goes for main wall. It does look like it's going to be a main wall bandit trick potentially, as Boiler is left all alone. We have Dom on the clash too, so we've got a shield to block out all of the wine site. As Zequelin is making that push near the top floor. It does look, again, like we're just going to do a standard snowmobile take. Drones coming in. So Zequelin can keep an eye on the stuff. Tyler potentially looking to toss... Well, he's already tossed one of his gadgets down, opening up the floor. Zonus is not happy about Tanks getting that hack onto the... onto the Maestro gadget. That is very unfortunate. We do, I think, burn an impact. As just we were waiting patiently now. It does look like, oh, finally, we do have a push here from Zequelin to the back, and Chipper is going to be looking to open the walls. We have lots of drones coming out right now as Track's making his way in. He's looking for the player, and he does spot out Turninator, who gets knocked out. Head taken off. One more player. Zonus trying to push. Oh, he spots and finally hits Tracks. Took him maybe a little more bullets than he wanted. But we are still even. Do still have a lot of control of sight. Tyler looking for these players. He knows Captain Yuri is trapped and does find the pick. Now it is a 4v3. Dom playing behind his shield. Trying to make sure to back it up as we get the wall opened into wine through Boiler by Chipper. Zonus, meanwhile, taking out Tyler. We're still in a 3v3 as Tanks gets the trade onto him, but he does get downed in the process. He is gonna get res though. Dom not willing to push it forward as Chipper gets taken out. Now there's two more players and Dom trying to not lock the position down. And holding it so far as Zequelin in the 1v2 now. Needs to figure out how he's going to get his entry. Nova, though, has a lot of pressure onto that vertical. Zequelin trying to find out what he can do. He's not... I don't think they have the intel on exactly where Nova is. As Dom swings out from his class shield and gets the pick. Dom, honestly, the MVP of this round. Locking down the wine cellar perfectly. Putting Hiroshima Suns on to map point. 6-4. First time we're seeing any of these teams with even a 2-point advantage. So we'll have to see if Hiroshima Suns can lock it in or if City Boys are going to be coming back. Take us into overtime.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
And so we begin where everyone has began. In Master and Office. With a very similar setup. Though we have Dom on the pulse now. So we're going to have two players potentially playing this roam position. We do know that City Boys love to attack from the library side. So potentially having this Pulse playing in the
10
bar
seconds to
site might
insertion.
give them the advantage they need to potentially get an early
5 seconds left before
C4
insertion.
kill.
Bomb located by attackers. Attackers are
Otherwise, we are
moving to
seeing a
defuse
pretty
bomb.
standard wall setup. We're not seeing anything crazy. Probably gonna have to do some last-minute footholds here. We are missing that out. But team is bringing out that Monty. We're seeing a rotate, actually, over to solar side. Maybe, potentially, this looked like a last-minute decision. As Trax gets knocked out by Nova. Oh, no. It's potentially a little bit too exposed. It's definitely not comfortable for City Boys to start man down immediately as Chipper wants to be entering from West Main. We have Captain Yuri on the roam position. He's checking the mud window, doesn't find anyone. You do know where turn is. As Dom spots out Chipper. Chipper trying to get some damage, doesn't quite find the damage that he wants as Dom is looking past. Chipper is actually very much alone at the moment. He doesn't have any support. Dom was very careful with that. And the crossfire coming out from turn. Nice calls from the team of Hiroshima Suns at the moment. So we are stuck actually in a 3v5 now. Tyler trying to find anyone. Zonas in a tight corner on master bedroom. There's a lot of guns on him, but he really doesn't have any pressure to move here. He can just sit here and not worry whatsoever. Instead, he's gonna swing out, and that is gonna cost him as Tyler gets the pick. As we are in a 4v3. C4 not quite doing anything as Zequelin does spot out the Pulse playing below. Playing some very aggressive angles there. Tyler and Zequelin both trying to make their way in, throwing out some bees, but Dom does have the close angle. It's probably better that they give up this window. Zequelin spotting, I think spotting some toes, but not quite getting what they wanted. Meanwhile, Turn taking out tanks. This attack, again, is continuing to look worse and worse. We are 30 seconds left, and Tyler gets a beautiful shot onto Captain Yuri, trying to make a play while Dom takes out Zequelin. It's all up to Tyler, who has so many angles against him. Just trying to spray, is stuck on the West Main stairs. The Pulse is going to be spotting him out for Nova. And, oh, meanwhile, never mind. Pulse is going to be spotting him out for himself as he swings out for that kill with the pistol. And that is map point to Hiroshima Suns, winning 7-4, only losing a single round of defense right at the start and then closing out the round without a care in the world. So we will be going over to our break screen for a moment. We should be getting into this game very soon. Again, just me, Mary Berry, your caster, trying to hold this all together on my own. So we should be good in a second. As the game is underway. Night Haven Labs. Here we come. I love personally to see Night Haven Labs. It's just such a fun map. So we enter our ban phase. I am guessing we're not going to be seeing Mira anymore. None of these teams like to fight against that Mira, as she's always abandoned and alone. I wonder if the zombie's going to be banned, though, early, considering how well a zombie can lock down a lot of these sites. Oh, we're seeing the Mira and the Ace. This reads exactly like the ban list from Chalet at the moment. And next up, we should be getting our bans. Mav and Tubarão. Just a little bit different. You know, Tubarão is very good at stalling any of these walls getting opened on the map. And Maverick, man, the things Maverick can do with some of these outside walls. There's really terrible angles Mav can open up onto IT wall. You could do really fun little things with the basement walls as well, and potentially a glass to cover you up. So banning that is a smart play. Again, Hiroshima Suns versus City Boys. Map 1 against Chalet. Hiroshima Suns won 7-4, and now we are on to Night Haven Labs.
Attackers have located
As
a
it
bomb.
looks like a pretty standard setup. We do have Kaid up,
10
as
seconds
well as
left.
Bandit. Bandit was not banned, but it looks like our only wall denial is going to be that
5
Kaid,
seconds remaining.
who I think has potentially used
Attackers are heading out to defuse the bomb.
both of his claws in hard to shoot places. Right against the corner, so you can't just go into the vertical. He is watching with holes in the floor. Zonus ready for anyone trying to get in through the window. Try to take a little peek. Meanwhile, Zequelin taken out by Nova very early in the round. I didn't even see where that happened. Ooh, Toes spotted by Zonus. He's trying to find that angle. He does take a couple pot shots and does get the kill against Trax. He was ready for that. And now, Chipper, Tyler, and Tanks. Little bit alone. Zonus is trying to reset that, but we are going to get the wall open. Chipper swinging. Tanks covering as well. Zonus taking a lot of damage, decides to run out as Tyler, meanwhile, falls to Dom, who's deep in lounge. We have a couple more players spotted out. But Chipper and Tanks in not the most comfortable of positions here. Nova was detected on the rafters wall, but it's probably smart for the team to rotate around. We have connector open now. Tanks trying to hold. Potentially get some cheeky picks here onto rafter. Not finding anything quite yet. The drones are coming out. The wall being... Was that just shot open? That was a curious position for Chipper as Dom takes out... Dom takes out Tanks as well, and this attack is just not working out. Chipper is very scared, and he was aware of that as zombie, unfortunately. Dom gets the pick regardless, just casually waiting in the corner. The pre-fire not quite working out for Chipper. As first point goes to Hiroshima Suns. Defense right now working out for them, and we're going to be moving over to the basement site. Definitely curious to see what the City Boys choose, whether they're going to go for a direct take on some of these outside walls. It is definitely not the most common position, considering there's so much soft floor, and with Bandit and Kaid both up, should be very easy to trick if no one decides to push this vertical. You do really want to control first floor, but of course defense knows that as well. The question is, will Hiroshima Suns be roaming? It does look like Dom is going on an adventure. We do even have warehouse hatch open.
10 seconds remaining.
Very commonly opened up so that defense can have a nice
5
flank
seconds
spot
left
if
before
anyone
insertion.
opens the EXO wall. Even get IT walls closed
Attackers are
off.
moving out to locate a bomb
I'm
and defuse it.
suspecting potentially some holes in IT.
Attackers' bomb
Get
diffuser
that
has
vert
been
control.
dropped. Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Very deep roam at the moment. But we do, of course, have Snake to help us out, just spotting any silly little players who might be having a good time. It looks like Captain Yuri had to drop back down and help open up a whole bunch of angles on the wall. Meanwhile, Dom on an adventure, Zonus on an adventure. They're just having a good time. They know people might be wanting to play these vertical positions. Hank's looking for some sort of off entry so that he can start pressuring the players on the top floor. As we get the push, drones coming out. I'm trying to lock down this generator as Zonus does take a bit of fire here from the vert. Tyler, meanwhile, taking out Dom. Gets a nice pick as Zonus decides to fall back. Rome, somewhat successful. There's definitely a lot of time wasted, and at least Zonus got out with his life. Dom, unfortunately, did not. C4 coming out, doesn't quite find anyone. Chipper's still up to open up a whole lot of vert. Top floor is fully under control of attack. Tanks is trying to make sure that there's no more players ratting on this first floor. Tyler does have to make sure to try to find a safe spot to drop onto first floor before he can start using his gadget, since it does only detect people on the floor he's at. Captain Yuri, meanwhile, with a pick through the vertical. He is looking for more players as well as the floor opens up under him. Chipper patiently waiting, trying to find that angle. Meanwhile, oh, he does fire a lot into Captain Yuri, who had to back away.
Nitro cell set.
As Zonus previously going down. Captain Yuri with a really nice C4 and Nova taking out Zeppelin. Trax taking out another end. Ooh, Captain Yuri looking right at the wrong door. So Trax gets another. Trax making his comfortable way in, deciding. And the final player is spotted. Turn is detected. He needs to find something to do. He gets one. He's going to be looking for a Snake. He's going to find Snake, and he doesn't. Tyler finishes off that fight. One of the things that if Turn was just a touch faster, he may have been able to catch Tyler just getting off that plant. Oh, we are back to 1-1. Very nice attack against that basement coming out from the City Boys. We are going to be replaying it, though. As we get to see what changes we make. And right now, we have a castle. Nova did not play that castle before, so I'm wondering if we're going to be holding slightly tighter position on top floor. Sometimes you will see this castle brought up to close up the control room, especially this double door, and sometimes into the lobby. Castle these off.
10 seconds
I also do get the vending window closed out.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Again, plenty of pressure being put on this top floor to try to stall it out as long as possible. Only the bandit, though, for wall denial this time. And we have Zeppelin on the Twitch. Looks like Trax wanting to get a very early entry in. But that castle barricade is going to be blocking him, so he's going to be rotating off. Couple drones planning to be knocked in. Bullets firing between these players. Nova, last minute getting the castle on to forklift as well. Captain Yuri just casually sits in storage and waits. Dom is top floor. He is all alone on top floor, but he knows there are players out on the hunt for him. And he does spot Trax, who has to give it up. He does take a lot of damage. Trax has to be very careful of his flank, since a lot of that first floor is not under control, and he doesn't even have to care about his flank as he goes down to a C4. Dom, meanwhile, taking out Tyler. And again, this attack is falling apart. Tank's trying to put some pressure in. Captain Yuri fighting the verts. A lot of gunfire coming out from everywhere. The defense decides to fall off, but not quite, as Nova's actually upstairs with the flank. We have a little bit of rotates here. Zeppelin knowing that there's players still out and about. Nova actually having taken the Raptors position. Seem to be able to get a free pick, and he does. He will get spotted out. He gets two! He's looking for the third. Chipper knows where he is now. The pistol out, though, is not going to be super helpful with him, and keeps trying to play this shotgun game as Nova cleans it out with his own shotgun. He's playing Ring Around the Rosie with the boxes. And we go 2-1 in favor of Hiroshima Suns. The Rome game just on top. Absolute peak. Everyone deciding to join in on the fun. And so we finally get some more bands coming out. We're going to see a Valk ban, an Aruni ban. What are we seeing? Who are we banning? Azami. Honestly, great pick. Gonna make the pushing the rafters or any other positions where Azami might be just that little bit harder. And meanwhile, we get another Hard Breacher band from Hiroshima Suns. They just want the walls to stay closed for free. As little effort as possible. As they go back to top floor. And that does leave Hibana as your one primary Hard Breacher, but there's still plenty of players or operators that do have secondary Hard Breach gadgets, which I believe are going to be the favored option here. Chipper likely to be bringing that Hard Breach gadget, potentially some more coming in as well. As Zonus is going to be on the Kaid again, we're going to see the standard Kaid Claw placement. The players set up the site. Making sure to burn some of these pipes early so they don't have to worry about them later on in the rounds. I don't know if that pipe being burned early was intentional, since that does look like it works against the attackers more. Meanwhile, Trax and Dom take a very early fight that I unfortunately missed. As we just start off with a trade. It's just a 4v4 right away. Dom down. The pulse is absolutely gone, and so is your Deimos. Chipper taking position here through the vertical. I wonder if Zone's going to be... He is worried now about this I think he's... Yeah, he sees the holes in the floor, but Chipper's going to be moving on. Doesn't quite find what he was looking for. As Tyler wants to hop into meeting. Turn holding down pillar. Zona's just keeping the site locked down. He's definitely a little bit wary of that window, but at the moment, you know, doesn't have too much to fear. Chipper looking to get the wall as Zona's trying to trick this. I think he will be able to trick it. He does. Very comfortably. Again, that Hard Breach gadget just a little bit too slow to be just as effective as they want. And both of them burned early on. Meanwhile, turn going down to Tyler and Zonas taking out Chipper. It is a 3v3. Tyler wanting to take some more fights here onto Connector. He does not like Lucy Gadget just constantly getting set off. Finally finds an angle that is safe enough to knock it out of the way. His impacts come flying from Captain Yuri. He wants to take these fights as Tyler pushes very aggressively forward. He is so close now. Just a little bit of a face-off. As the C4 goes flying, and Captain Yuri swings and knocks out Tyler. Attack looking just a little bit worse for wear. Zeppelin not going to be able to do anything as Captain Yuri finds him, and Nova cleaning up the round as well. That little sneak down blue is not gonna work out. Hiroshima-san's looking quite comfortable on their defense at the moment. But again, some could say that Nighthaven Labs does tend to be somewhat defender favored. It is a very large map with a lot of space for your roamers to move. Now we go to kitchen cafeteria
Attackers need to locate and defuse
as
the
a
bomb.
tertiary site. I love this. Don't see this too often. It is not the most popular defensive site. It does tend to be quite difficult to hold considering there is a hatch. Not quite into sight, but it basically just
Attackers have
next
located a
to
bomb.
sight. And there's also a window. This window directly into the kitchen. It does make holding this a little bit difficult since attack can just sit outside and wait for the defenders to just unknowingly cross by.
10 seconds to insertion.
Typically, you do want to hold this either extended
5
pretty
seconds
heavily out, which, you know, considering we have the storage wall closed, I'm surprised that both
Attackers
walls are
moving to
closed here
defuse
on
the
Calf.
bomb.
But I am not perfect on my meta. We do get the hatch closed on the outside immediately. This is the play. Quite safe, but Tanks is looking for that kill, and he knew it. You know, if you stick around to try to close that window, Nova was taken out. This is looking like quite a rougher start for defense. They are one man down, but of course, attack does still need to find all of that space. So we get a lot of early work done here from Tanks, clearing out a bunch of the attacker utility. Meanwhile, Dom on his own adventure, trying to hunt down a couple of these Twitch drones. He's gonna be ready for the player, and he is! Tyler, knocked out. That is your Snake player gone. He's very happy with that kill. Meanwhile, Captain Yuri hang back around the site as we have some control of this top floor. Trax making sure to have a flank set up for the warehouse. Tank's trying to find a bit more intel. He does spot the smoke of Captain Yuri. Unfortunately, that is going to be his last Twitch drone. Captain Yuri does know that he's out here. Having a little bit of a standoff at the moment. While Zekelin tries to open up a bit of a rotate for himself. The swing happens, and Tanks has the better angle. That shotgun shot is not the way. Have a little bit of vert open up from Trax. He's looking for the player's turn. Sliver of health away. Not quite ready for the vert. Zonus is opening up himself a little bit more space to plan if he needs to rotate around. Chipper tries to make... Chipper is looking to make his way into sight. Dom, meanwhile, picking up Tanks. Chipper's gonna be spotting him out. Does he have a teammate to help him out to handle this? Both Trax and Zekelin. So Zekelin actually coming back onto first floor. Sorry, that's Trax on first floor. He's waiting for anyone to make a mistake. Dom looking for some toes of any unsuspecting players that want to make their way in. And oh, it does look like they had some intel as Zonus takes out Chipper. That is actually the Monty down. Zekelin taking some fire through the soft wall. Dom is looking for this fight. Zonus going down to Trax. He's making his way through lobby. But there's just no time left. Dom just ready, and there's going to be one more player, and they're not going to have enough time to do anything. Another very solid defensive round. 4-1. We've got one more round to go. City Boys are going to be wanting to get this point. 4-2 split, not the end of the world, but a 5-1 is going to be quite difficult to try to recover from. As we get to play.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
In basement. Once more. Does look like most of the players are making their way up to top floor. Zonus opting for the warehouse hatch to be closed this time around. We're not going to be playing with that hatch open. Probably going to be seeing, yep, vending closed as well. Does look like we have the extended roam presence as well. Nova setting up a castle all the way on the top warehouse door just to support Dom's setup, though IT wall is going to be remaining unfortunately soft. I don't believe Dom is going to have time to do that, instead opting to close up connector wall. Give himself a safer way to drop down if he's going to be playing aggressively here on IT. Looks like Tanks does want to go top floor along with Zequelin. I'm seeing both of these players just double checking the space. Captain Yuri is going to be spotted out by that lion drone, but it really doesn't matter as the Dom just hangs out and waits for the players to be pushing as meanwhile Tanks taking a really early fight. Dom knows there's players out, and he does find Chipper. We are down to a 4-4 as Zonus takes out Tanks. Is below, and he does have control, but Dom cleaned up by Tyler, who's going to be able to get a free camera now for his squad. Track's trying to make sure that no one's on the top floor, since we do only have Zequelin, who happily knocks out Nova hanging out on the first floor, trying to get some cheeky picks. It's all up to Captain Yuri and Zonus now, who are playing on top floor. C4 comes out. Unfortunately, doesn't do any damage to our player. Not on the vert at the moment. Zonus potentially trying to bait him there. Unfortunately, turns her way the last moment as the phones are getting called. And the push comes down the stairs, and Tracks with the better gunfight. Captain Yuri getting fully flashed out. Doesn't quite manage to clean up the kill onto Tracks. Does get it now, as Zequelin and Tyler have to try to close this out against Captain Yuri. They're going to be waiting for that vault. Unfortunately, Tyler missing his shots. Captain Yuri can safely actually just rotate back without care in the world as the plant is going down. He's going to get flashed. Tyler is going to get that plant down as the nades go in to try to stall this out. We do get the pick, and it doesn't matter. Captain Yuri with the 2K. Triple kill throughout the round and clutches it out for Hiroshima Suns. Hiroshima Suns are going to be very, very happy with this defensive split. 5-1. Putting them at a huge advantage. City Boys are going to have to essentially try to play even better than them if they want to win this in regulation. They can't lose a single defense. As we get into our ban phase. What do we think? Are we just going to see the Ace and Mira again? That's all these people have been banning. No, we got the Ace and the Kaid first. That's crazy. What happened, guys? Is Mira going to be allowed through? Somehow I still doubt it. But this might be a Kaid and Bandit ban. You know, sometimes the players just don't want to deal with any sort of wall denial that will actually destroy their gadgets. And yeah, it does look like Hiroshima Suns are opting to allow the Mira on the board. Do we have any players on City Boys to take advantage of that? And immediately, Tanks with a Mira, Tracks with the Azami. Powerful, powerful operators. Since they're not going to be able to keep those walls closed, they will be able to take a bunch of advantageous gunfights.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
And so, we get moving. Top floor, everyone's favorite picked site.
Bomb located by
Again,
attackers.
not surprised whatsoever. It is a very, very good site. Oftentimes, you really don't have to worry about the vert here, and attack just has to pressure pretty much from the main or from the second floor. Unless, of course, they are looking to get below to clear out any electrification, which they don't care about. We do actually see tanks with a Mira set up here. Curious to see if we're going to see impact tricking. Both Chipper and Trax do have the impacts. They do play nearby. They'll be able to keep the wall closed for a decent amount of time. That is their choice. You see that rotation up immediately. Dom opting for the Monty, immediately pressuring a zombie as Nova gets knocked out by tanks. Dom just allowed to push a little bit forward as Trax gets a pick onto turn, and this attack is not looking great for Hiroshima Suns. You know, Dom not quite putting as much pressure as maybe he would have wanted. There's two guns staring at him. Now he can't even escape the Azami. Gonna have to push forward here and does get a little bit trapped. Doesn't have his friends. Captain Yuri is looking for a pick. Doesn't quite find it. Zonus taking some damage. Walking into blue. He's trying to get some sort of pick. It's not going to work out for him, unfortunately. So Dom is getting bullied by Trax, by Tyler. He's just waiting to get these angles. Captain Yuri, meanwhile, does get a pick. Does get two to even this out. It's suddenly a 2-2. This did not look good for Hiroshima Suns, but they managed to bring it back. Captain Yuri just allowed to go gun active. They're still gonna have to walk into a crossfire from Chipper and Tyler. Captain Yuri wants to remove just some of that pressure, give himself some space. Tyler looking for the pick, getting the pre-fires out. Smoke's coming in as Captain Yuri gets downed by the goo mine. It's all up to Dom to try to close this out. Trying to get that melee down. Both players getting meleeed, and it looks like Dom is going to be the one who wins it in the end. And what's this? 6-1? You can't lose those rounds, City Boys. You had such a man advantage. But you just let Captain Yuri get the kills he needed. And now we're on map point. City Boys can't allow a single other defense to slip through their fingers, or they're not going to walk away with any points. This round, they already lost them all on Chalet, losing 7-4 to Hiroshima Suns. So Hiroshima Suns get the full 3 points for the map. And now Hiroshima Suns are set to get another 3. They really want those points. They've guaranteed themselves at least 1 more point by getting all the way to 6. But City Boys are going to need to take them to overtime if they want to have a single chance at winning. You see the Mira setup again, but does look like we're not going to opt to try to trick this at all. It did look like Hiroshima Suns were very comfortable in trying to counter that with just pressuring a zombie out immediately with the Monty. Dom is also going to continue locking in that Monty pick, though we do not have the Azami this time around. Back to the one playing the Legion. We have instead a Solus. We have Chipper also on a shield as we get straight into it. Turn playing behind Dom. We have another clash. We have Zonus on the other window. Everyone is looking for some sort of space. I don't think they're quite going to find it here on the rafters. There's not that many players playing on the rafters. Mainly just Chipper keeping an eye on everyone. The main wall is, however, opened. Captain Yuri does have it open. We're getting a bit more intel here. Does even get connector hatch, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Chipper is looking to back out. Zonus, meanwhile, getting down by Trax. A push not quite working out for them, as he needs to make his way potentially back out. It does look like he doesn't care, but he wasn't watching Dom, who was patiently waiting for him to just run into his crosshairs. That was not a mistake you really want to see coming out from City Boys. Now Tank's deciding to hang out in his nice and safe mirror window, though the smokes coming out are going to be blinding him, and Captain Yuri doesn't care. Gets the shot onto tanks. C4 not going to take anyone out as we see the rotation over to blue side.
I put down
This
my
is
shield.
not going to look particularly comfortable at all for City Boys, who are man down now on this defense. And Chipper, who has to pull his gun out, set up the stall here, and gets a really nice shot onto Nova. See Zeklin trying to hold this position down. Tyler also prone in a strange position. Looks like Dom is finally going to commit to this blue push. With Turn making sure that no one else is going to be holding them. Chipper has to watch his back now. As Dom tries to make his way in. Chipper getting crossfired by Captain Yuri. Very well played. Looks like the space is going to be there to get that plant down. And Zekelin, is he not aware that the plant's coming down? Tyler's looking for it, but he's not going to find it. And it's a 2v3 with plant down now. Tyler's going to have to take some fights now. He's pushed forward, and he does get one. He's going to have to find the second. He finds Turn. Now it's up to just the Monty, and he's not going to be able to do it. As Tyler goes and gets the defuse. City Boys are not out of this just yet. Beautiful, beautiful flank, saving the team from a 7-1 loss. City Boys aren't going to go out that easy. As we finally have to go to another defensive site. We're going basement assembly tank. So we're gonna have to see what they have to bring this time. Hiroshima Sun's looking like they're very happy with their band choices. You know, they don't have to mess around with the wall. They can get it for free whenever they want. We do, though, have Zekelin on the Tubrau. So it will take a little bit more effort potentially to get these walls open. He can stall them out just a little bit longer. It won't quite be able to destroy any of those gadgets. And I'm surprised to see that we don't have the Mira in play either. Potentially City Boys not feeling that it was helping them or giving them as much of an advantage as they wanted to. Especially with the good use of smoke coming out from Hiroshima Suns. Does also look like there's going to be a slightly less of a roam presence. We do actually have tracks. In a very ratty position. Waiting for someone to walk in, but it does look like it's going to be a direct rush play here. Zonus in. Turn looking to throw in a whole bunch of gadgets. Chipper, though, just missing his shotgun shots. Zonus not fully down. And he does at least get one. He's looking for the other. He has the second. He's looking for more. Tanks gets another. Suddenly, this attack completely shut down. Nova with the vert. 2v3. Nova and Captain Yuri. Captain Yuri all alone, stuck outside of the main breach here. So Nova is upstairs. This was definitely a rush in the making, but shut down by City Boys. Captain Yuri and Nova are going to have to find some sort of alternative route down. As the City Boys are just patiently waiting. Very smart play from Captain Yuri here to just back off, you know, just push with Nova. Playing it safe while the City Boys just have to wait. They have to wait patiently and hold their crossfires, protect their teammates. They have the man advantage. They should be able to get this. If they can get the trades they need, they should have the round. As Captain Yuri and Nova, again, have to keep trying to make their way down, figuring out what the play is. Slow walking towards cargo. Setting off the breach as a distraction. But the barbed wire is going to slow them down. They're going to have to expose themselves if they want to get down. A couple players running around outside. Yeah, now the pushdown cargo is going to be spotted. Tyler knows where they are. Zekelin knows where they are. Captain Yuri not quite finding what he wants. Zekelin with a really, really nice long angle while Captain Yuri is looking for these other players. So he takes a little bit of damage. And he runs across. Tyler missing his shots and finally cleaned up. Let's find him in the end. Meanwhile, Nova does pick up Zekelin. He is looking for another. He gets Tyler. It's a 1v1. Can he close this out for the team? Think he heard him, and he can't. City Boys are here for another round. They are holding on to this fight by the skin of their absolute fingernails. We finally get to another band phase. We are 6-3. What are we going to remove? Are we removing any shields? Dom has actually been very annoying, very powerful with those, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a Monty go. And yeah, we get the Monty gone and the Warden following up. That was what shut down Hiroshima Sun's rush play, so it does make sense if they want to try to play something else, especially with the smokes and the flashes. We do also have a timeout coming in from the Hiroshima Suns. It's definitely an interesting position to take a timeout in, 6-3, but potentially trying to stop City Boys' momentum as they force just a little bit of a break. We'll have to let the players have their moment. Meanwhile, we can look at this scoreboard. Captain Yuri, Dom, and Nova in the double digits from Hiroshima Suns. Meanwhile, Tyler, only one from City Boys. But you know what? They're working on it. They are absolutely working on it to get those numbers up. City Boys aren't going out without a fight. They will have to go to a tertiary site. Look at that. They're going to have to win storage, control room. It's going to be quite interesting. To see what their plan is. Again, this is a scary site to defend because it is weak to a rush from the window, but typically you'll see a defense at the top floor by Tyler, who is setting it all up. The walls on IT are closed. They're gonna have the angle if the plant is attempted. We also have the pulse coming in from Chipper, playing all the way in the basement. To just help spot any players, wherever they may be going from. As we are getting the pressure started here, Captain Yuri getting onto the windows, potentially all the way to meeting. Dom opting for the Blackbeard play as well. So we get a full rotate actually onto lobby side. That's very interesting. Zone is following along, deciding to, you know, yeah, the full rotates. They just want to walk in through lobby. Did they spot a hole in the defense? Maybe they're just a little bit too weak here. They see it, no one's hanging out here. Could they just walk in for free? Trax, though, does have the cover from the vertical. It's moving off of it. Tank's the only player in the site right now. I might be able to stop this. We're getting some calls that there's players hanging around. Don't know if they know that Dom has just snuck his way in behind a drone as Turn gets knocked out by Trax, who has the vertical cover. Dom spotting out the Valk, throwing in some nades, and ooh, doesn't quite get the shot he wants, but he's waiting for Valk to swing the window. But Chipper with the C4, this attack is getting shut down once more. He's gonna be spotting more of these players walking forward. Captain Yuri has to give up that position. Zonus, Nova, You're gonna have to try to find some players. Zequelin shut down, trying to walk in from top blue. Tanks covering from the forklift hall. Or more in warehouse watching that. Track's still on this vertical position. Zonus' head spotted out, and that peak did not work out for a chipper, as Captain Yuri gets that kill. Meanwhile, Nova 1v3. All alone. He's not ready for the prone tanks to knock him out. And it just looks like... It looks like the attack from Hiroshima Suns are just not working out. City Boys in control of the defense so far. They need 2 more rounds to bring this into OT. They do get to go to their top pick this time. Command, Center, CC, and Server. We're going to be playing the Mira again. Does look like they just don't like the Mira in basement, which is perfectly valid. Or sorry, in storage. Otherwise, I suspect we're going to see a pretty standard defense. We're not going to be seeing any impact tricking on the IT wall like they attempted first time around. Barb on the warehouse stairs to slow this down. Looks like we're going to get another rush attempt from Hiroshima Suns. The BB picked up by Zonus this time, and Nova with the Ying.
5 seconds to insertion.
Our City Boys gonna be ready. To be fair, Hiroshima Suns have been rushing a lot these last couple attacks, and it's not really been working out for them. So you gotta think what their plan is just keep throwing things at the wall and see if they work. Or potentially try to do a little bit of something else. They are still droning the site out, making sure that their entry points are open. Dom looking to see if any players are trying to be cheeky here on the main breach. They do get the wall open without any issue, as Captain Yuri blows the connector wall as well. Dom looking to see if he can spot anything here actually from the top of this platform. It does leave him a little exposed, but doesn't quite spot anyone out. Tanks missing his C4. He does actually get to recover it though, so it works out. Works out for him. As the players are trying to make this work, Nova shut down by Tyler, and Zonus hit by the C4. Trying to bait out his body to get that trade out, but Tanks doing just fine right now covering. Turn taking some damage, getting flashed out. Captain Yuri tossing more flashes. As we are hit by another Malusi Gadget chipper, meanwhile, with the vertical control, knocking out Zonus. Looks like he might be going for a flank, but is he going to be spotted out? Turn does have to give up the flank cover for the moment, as the players are just shooting ever onwards. Captain Yuri taking some fire. It is a bit of a standoff here. There's a minute left to go. Everyone is still alive from the side of City Boys. They're not having any issues with these defenses. And Captain Yuri, I'd say his vertical is actually causing him a couple of problems, since it was blocking some of the angles against him. Meanwhile, Dom getting to pick on the tanks, but Turn knocked out by Zequelin. Tyler getting a pick onto Dom, and it's all up to Captain Yuri, who's all alone in the 1v4. And it's, I was watching the wrong person. Sorry. And again, this vertical play, just shutting everyone down. No one going down to hunt any of the players. And it looks like we're going 6-5. We're still sitting on match points. Hiroshima Suns haven't found a singular other attacking round. As the City Boys seem to have locked in. That timeout absolutely not paying off for the
Attackers need to
Hiroshima
locate and
Suns.
defuse as many bombs as they can.
And so we go yet again. Basement. Walls getting reinforced, getting set up. Zekulin on the tube out to stall out any of the opening. But hatches getting closed. I don't believe I'm seeing too much of a roam presence. Let's zoom out here.
10 seconds
Tanks
left.
and tracks right now on the first floor.
5 seconds left before
Anything
insertion.
else below? Though we do have Chipper with the castle potentially
Attackers are
looking
moving out
to
locate
close
a
up
bomb and defuse it.
some of the windows. Zonus wants to get straight into the action, running aggressively forward. Does not catch the castle. Oh. Threw out his buggy incorrectly as Turn gets the window instead. Chipper playing top floor here, trying to stall out this push, and tracks along with him. Nova trying to press from above. You won't be able to spot Chipper playing bottom warehouse, though. I think he has some inkling, though, that someone might be hanging around. They're kind of dancing around each other's position right now as Chipper decides to back off of that, and Trax does the same. Instead, opting to watch the 90 position as Nova takes warehouse stairs. And Zonas has control of the warehouse door. Chipper with a really nice little pixel. He is going to be droned out, though, and taking a little bit to knock those shots out. Backing out as Zonas pushes forward. He misses that shot straight through the soft wall. Even a little slower, it may have worked out. But Chipper, meanwhile, does manage to pick up Dom. And again, Hiroshima Sun's attack is off to a bad start as Chipper's allowed to roam even higher. Top floor. Captain Yuri, meanwhile, getting shut down by Zekulin. Again, this attack just not working out. It looks to be a very heavily defender-sided Turn getting a pick, though, onto tanks. But so far, still looking very defender-sided of a... of a map. Turn getting down, but we are going to be going back to a 3v3 as Turn does get picked up. Nova looking to find, trying to grab the diffuser, does finally find it. Putting some pressure. He's not ready for Zekulin on Exo, covering that as Zonas does eventually get the trade and gets downed by the barbed wire. I'm not really sure what happened there. It's all up to Turn, who has a sliver of health left, 20 seconds left. And it's Trax and Tyler. Trax just on the prone position. They know where he's coming from. And the goo mine is gonna take him out. It's unfortunate for Hiroshima Suns, as they did not manage to close out a singular attack here, other than their very first one. But we will be going right back at it. Hiroshima Suns having to attack once more. It does look like the team that is defending first is going to be having the advantage. So City Boys just need to make sure that they're closing out this defensive round, and they should be pretty happy with where they end up.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
If this isn't a lesson on how it's not over until it's over, and I don't know what is. Coming back from a 5-1 to pull it all the way to an OT. City Boys have guaranteed themselves at least 1 point. If they manage to win this, they will get 2 points for their victory. Well, meanwhile, Hiroshima Suns have both teams have actually guaranteed themselves 1 point. They are fighting for that last singular point that victory will give them.
10 seconds to go.
As we see, again, basic top floor defense. We're not seeing anything crazy from these teams. Just no wall denial, unfortunately. So it does make opening the walls for Hiroshima Suns very easy. And other than the first time they attacked, it really has not seemed to affect the teams that much. These walls are soft. Oh no, Dom immediately taking out Trax has he also injures another one. Zonus in the fight. Tanks and Zequelin trying their best to escape as they pull out of there. That is a bad start for City Boys. If they lose this defense, then that means Hiroshima Suns is going to get their turn on defense right after. Going to give them the advantage.
Shield deployed.
And so we continue. Turn.
Shock.
Putting pressure on to the warehouse. We get that knocked open really early. Zonus with the hard breach charges. Getting walls open. Tanks downed, actually, in the meanwhile. As Chipper goes on a bit of an adventure outside, potentially trying to get into a position where he can pick up tanks. Tyler taking some fights on the players on the breach. Zequelin trying to lock down Jen. They're the only guns up at the moment, but Zonus has Tyler's head. He doesn't have to worry at all. We're popping a couple more hard breach gadgets. Tanks still not being able to be rezzed. Finally, they get in. They're both below, having to walk up blue. Team may not actually be ready for this flank coming up from Chipper. Oh, the impact does not work out as Zonus is ready and just swings the door anyways. Tanks trying to make their way up the warehouse, but it's going to be a 2v5. Zequelin trying to put pressure, getting bullied by Nova and Dom. Tanks gets one. He's looking for another, and he's not going to find it as Captain Yuri secures the kill and secures the round for Hiroshima Suns. They are 7-6 again on map points. But now they'll get to defend next. City Boys are going to have to win an attack if they want to stay in the running. Top floor, CC server. Will this be the end of City Boys? Are they gonna somehow claw their way back to a 7-7?
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
And what do we have here? We actually have a Fenrir. We did not see this pick coming out from City Boys defense. Does make pushing some positions quite annoying, but pretty easily countered by the Twitch. We also have the Bandit free for Hiroshima Suns to play with. Was not banned out during their own defensive half, so they can keep the walls closed. Both Bandit and Kaid up. Just locking everything down. Going to have to force City Boys to waste a lot of resources trying to pop these defenses. And meanwhile, City Boys without a single dedicated hard breacher. Definitely an interesting choice. Tanks makes the rotate over, losing one drone. Tyler making sure to cover the warehouse door. Those look like City Boys are trying to find some sort of gap in the defense. They're not quite finding what they want. Nade coming in straight into Generator, hoping to chase someone out. Very quick push by Zequelin to at least take some control of Gen. Got some nice flank cover as he's looking to hunt out Turn. They do know where he is. They know Captain Yuri is doubled up with them. Well, we do have Chipper on the BB to just push connector. Zequelin just waiting to see if anyone's going to walk into him. As Nova's just keeping warehouse under wraps, just in case something might go wrong. Sequelin does take out Dom, though, so defense looking a little rough. They do get the wall reinforced immediately. Don't have to worry about that. As Zonus is a little bit trapped, does manage to make their way out. Trax trying to get this. Oh, he's the Fenrir. He's not finding it yet. Trax finds Nova's head. Beautiful shot. And this defense is falling apart for Hiroshima Suns as well. It's all up to Captain Yuri, Turn, and Zonus to try to lock this in. Chipper, an absolute pain here on the Blackbeard. Constant pressure. Captain Yuri may not be aware of the blue flank. There's someone proning down here, and oh, Trax gets caught out by all of those defenses on the blue side. Captain Yuri with another. Suddenly we're 3-3. Are they going to be able to hold this down? Zona's taking out tanks. Never mind, it's 3-2. Zekulin needing to find something. He does recover the diffuser, but he doesn't really have anything to do here on connector. He's looking for the toast. He's going to spot them. And that's a kill on to Turn, who's not watching his toes. Tyler needs to make his way up, but he is on blue, and there are a lot of defenses left there. Drone tossed out. Zekulin is looking. Captain Yuri looking to stop Tyler, who's making the push into sight, and he wins it. It's all up to Zonus now. He does get one. He's looking for the final player. The timer is running out. The plant has to go down. Zonus running forwards. The plant is not even going to go all the way down as he knifes for the finish. And that is victory for Hiroshima Suns. 8-6. Took them a bit longer than I'm sure they wanted it to, but they take it. That does mean that Hiroshima Suns are going to be walking away with a total of 5 points this day. City Boys do at least get one, since they did take the team to overtime. And so we are going to be at least concluding this match. Do stick around if you would like to see a couple interviews from the teams playing, as I will just call them up. Give me one moment. Hello, Dom. Welcome in, and how are you feeling? Why frustrated? Do let us know. Oh, really? What do you think you would have done? You could have done better then. Do let us know. That was certainly interesting. Were the calls then to rush? Because I definitely saw a lot of rush compositions throughout the Night Haven Labs game. Yeah, fair enough. But at the end of the day, I mean, your team still walks away with 5 points. You did lose one due to the overtime, of course. Um, your chalet game though was very impressive. Fair enough. Oh wait, let me drop the music too. Whoopsies. Oh wait. I also didn't have your voice. I'm so sorry.
All good.
Let me fix that. Let me fix that really quick. Apologies to the entire stream. Yeah, but yeah, Dom, I know you said you were a bit frustrated, but at the end of the day, your team wins.
Yeah, we win.
And I guess what's your plan to improve then as an IGL since you consider that your IGLing was the weak point here?
Don't get mentally shocked mid game due to someone prone on the floor. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty good. Other than prone on the floor multiple times. That will haunt me today.
Yeah. There was a lot of snaking and prone strats going on, so it happens.
Yeah.
But still, the 5 points go to you. You guys definitely had a very impressive showing.
5 points are great and all. I just wish we could have closed out a lot sooner. But
Yeah.
no losses other than one to I think it was R4C.
I believe so.
And that one was overtime, I believe,
Yeah.
on Clubhouse.
So you guys are still a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Do you
I hope
have? Yeah, go ahead.
to see R4C in playoffs, if that's how brackets go. Top teams against top teams or whatever. I'd really like to get the flawless against them finally.
Fair enough. That's the goal. All right. Do you have any final words for the stream?
We played good tonight. We'll play better next week. And we're coming for the title for Yuri to get back to back.
All right. You heard it here first, everyone. Thank you very much, Dom. We are going to be pulling in Chipper next. Welcome in, Chipper. How
Hello.
are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Our fate is in our hands next week, and we can make the playoffs pretty easily. So I feel like we were the better team today. And just some lucky moments and some frags not going our way just lost us the game. I think map 1, we were doing great. I think that I was like not really in a position where I could frag, and I kind of held myself back a little bit. But
Yeah.
game 2, once I was able to let myself loose, I was able to just join on the scoreboard. Like I think that second half I was like 8-3, 8-4.
Yeah. You guys
So
did have a bit of a rough start even on Night Haven Labs, but then you managed to pull out 5 straight defensive wins.
Mhm.
So that must have felt good.
Yeah, no, I thought that like from the very beginning, like two of our players haven't played Siege in since probably the last game. And we just got our new fifth. And so we were kind of having a little bit of trouble coordinating at the beginning of game. But like going into this, I was saying we were going to need to prep a lot to play this team. We were going to need to like have a ton of like dry run done and stuff, but we ended up having none of that really going into the game, and I still felt like we were the better team. So I guess it didn't really matter. I mean, we're probably going to be in the finals of the playoffs and probably going to win the finals of the playoffs. I think we're a great team. We have a great five stack. I think that like we definitely can beat any team on an off day. And I think that like today being us not having any real time together, we still showed that we're like probably number one, number two.
Absolutely fair enough. To be fair though, even on your chalet game, you guys were trading wings a lot when you guys were on the defense. It was only when you were attacking where it felt like it fell apart a little bit, which might just be like you mentioned. New players, attack is always a little bit harder when you don't have the fully coordinated team that you want, of course.
Mhm.
But do you feel you'll be
Yeah,
ready for your next match next week?
yeah, for sure. I think like our new fifth going into the second map was saying that we're kind of over engineering our attacks. And we were just kind of overthinking everything because like on Chalet there was the round where I was playing the shield canine and I just sat there for 2 minutes and then walked in sight in the last five. We were just kind of stalling out a little too much on attacks. But I mean, we have three champ caliber players. I've been playing Siege more than ever, so I feel like I'm best fit to be in this position than I ever have been. And then our fifth, even though they're not like a like constant champ player, they're still not a slouch, and we still all work off of one another. I feel like in any 2vx that I'm still comfortable with whoever's in that position. I don't feel like it's going to be, oh great, these two people are in the 2vx. I still feel like it's always a winnable round. And so going into next week, we're just going to have a little bit more time together. I've been playing Siege a ton. I know some of my other teammates are a little bit less on Siege nowadays, but I'm definitely going to just individually try and improve my game where I can enable my team a lot more.
Yep, sounds good, sounds good. Do you have any final words for the stream?
Yeah, going into Marlboro Men, that's the game to watch. That determines who gets in the playoffs, who doesn't. Make sure you're there. We're going to put belt to ass, and we're going to take down every seed higher than us.
All right, all right. Thank you very much for coming on and chatting with me, Chipper.
You're welcome. Appreciate the cast.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, that will conclude TBI League on the main channel for the moment. So thank you everyone for watching. This was Hiroshima Suns versus City Boys. Hiroshima Suns winning 7-4 on Chalet and then 8-6 on Nighthaven Labs. But we may be over here on the main channel. Do check us out on TBI League _Echo, where we still have one map left to go on Aqua Team Goon Squad versus Damnation. They just finished off their first map, so they're doing a short break as they get the teams ready for the next one. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.